Hey everyone, happy Monday. Got Peyton Langford in the weather lab, along with myself, Dan Scoff here at KNWA Fox 24. Got some people watching around the area. Wanted to do a little live update, not because Beryl is going to bring major impacts on our area. We just want to clear that out right now, clear the air, that this system is definitely going to impact the natural state. Central Arkansas, southern Arkansas, there's already been a multitude of tornado warnings, heavy rain, strong winds. It's definitely going to be an issue in the natural state. How much in northwest Arkansas? Not as much, because we talked about being on the west side of the low. So that's the first thing. We just wanted to hop on here. Number one, to let you know that, yes, we're going to see some rain overnight tonight. There is a tornado watch for Scott County. That's one county that we have to watch in our weather coverage area as that storm system makes its way eastward. It does not include Logan County, but it does do Yell County, just to the southeast of Logan County. So that's kind of what we're looking at. If we look at Beryl, you're going to see that it is impressive. Panama, Oklahoma is going to be on the western side of the low pressure system. In fact, you'll notice here that we are starting to see this getting kicked to the east quickly, and getting kicked to the east quickly because of this big system that's off to the west moving eastward. Now, here's the thing. Look at that dry air. Peyton was pointing this out. So we've got extremely dry air that's wrapping around this storm on the eastern and northeastern side of the tropical system, meaning if you put the center of the low, which will show you that it is tropical depression, Beryl, not a tropical storm anymore.
Not a hurricane.
Not a hurricane. It was, and it made a lot of impact on Houston. In fact, you have family in the Houston area. Yep. What were you seeing? What were they seeing?
My parents were without power since like 3 a.m. I'm sure they got it back. I know CenterPoint Energy, the big energy people down there, they now have under 2 million people without power, so that's good news. It was well above that, but that's still 2 million people. I didn't call them. I think they have power by now. But yeah, definitely a lot of places flooded around there, especially like right around downtown and
we'll show you the rain here, but let's just stop it on the latest image, and you can see the multitude of tornado warnings.
Now my other family's being impacted.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Hot Springs. We'll watch that, and we'll show you on Mega Doppler. But we've got that center of circulation that's west of Shreveport. It's going to become a remnant low here pretty soon. But as you work your way northward, look at how the rain lightens up. It's just not as heavy. So it's not as big of a deal for our area. And that's just the way it works with tropical systems. When you're on the western side of the low, you don't have the wind shear. You don't have the ingredients for significant storms and severe weather. Now, the north side of the low, you can still see the shear lineup. So Little Rock is in trouble because there's going to be a multitude of storms and severe weather, and there is tornado potential in the Little Rock area. Now, I'm going to take the camera off the screen. Need anything, Josh, or are you just chilling, man?
I'm just listening.
Okay, I didn't know if you needed something.
Yeah,
but so there's the rain. We are going to see rain overnight tonight, and it makes its way into northwest Arkansas, ½ inch to an inch at the most. Maybe at times some brief downpours, but not heavy enough to cause flash flooding, in my opinion. Then the wave starts getting kicked to the east. This is where the rain will pick up a little bit more as that trough of low pressure moves in. You can see the rain at 9 a.m. That's going to make its way into eastern sections of our weather coverage area. And then the humidity is going to be dropping. Right now, the humidity is thick, obviously, because this tropical air and tropical moisture. But look at the north wind. This is going to, boy, is it going to feel nice tomorrow afternoon. So this storm is out of here by early afternoon, and that's it. And then it starts to move out, and then you're going to see cloud cover. Now, there is a chance maybe a few little stray showers pop up on the western side of the low. That's not out of the question.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
Because, that trough's coming in, so we're going to have subsidence or sinking air on the backside or upstream of the trough. So any wraparound precipitation just ain't quite going to make it.
That's true.
But yeah.
But sometimes with tropical systems, you get just a little bit of energy, which you didn't see, and it can create just these really weird. They're strange showers. First of all, they're not thunderstorms, but they're very low cloud bases because obviously our dew point depressions are going to be pretty low tomorrow.
Yeah.
Meaning the temperature minus the dew point, that's the difference between them. So that will make the cloud bases really low, and they'll be interesting looking. And then once they clear out, and obviously we'll see sunshine. But sometimes those can produce just a little bit of rain. But it's a very low chance. If we look at Mega Doppler, you can see that actually happening right here in north central Oklahoma. See, there are just some little isolated showers way away from the center of circulation, which is down here. So sometimes those little things can pop up, and we'll show you the trough. But look at northwest Arkansas, barely anything.
Nice.
Not even sprinkling. It's humid. It's raining in the river valley. That's not a surprise at all. If we bring up our WeatherBug network camera for Waldron, yeah, there you go. You get to see the rain that's happening in Scott County. Now, Scott County is under a tornado watch, but we'll continue to watch that. And then we work our way southward. There's where the outer bands are. So these are where the thunderstorms are a little more intense. But what's interesting with tropical systems, totally different than supercell thunderstorms, which these are embedded supercells, but they're what we call low top supercells. You don't get as much lightning. There's still some lightning, but you don't get as much lightning as like a big supercell like what you see. And these circulations are rather unique. We should change the radar to Little Rock. Let's do that. And then that way you can tell your family about Hot Springs. They're in the Hot Springs Village, correct?
Well, Hot Springs kind of around Lake Hamilton.
Okay.
And then in Hot Springs Village.
Yeah. So while he's switching the radars, I'll show you the rest of the future track. There's that little low swinging in, and it's just going to be awesome. Now, here's the amount of rain that fell in the Houston area. Definitely a bullseye, a heavy corridor of rain. That's when Beryl was at its strongest. And there you see northwest Arkansas. So if we zip in, the River Valley saw some bands of precipitation. Northwest Arkansas, just not as much. So here's the very latest on Tropical Depression Beryl. Notice how it's becoming asymmetric. It's not symmetric anymore. We've got a lot of the basic precipitation and convection that's occurring on the east side of the low. If you ever wondered, too, why hurricanes produce tornadoes on the eastern side of the low, it's all because of friction. So the friction of land, what it does is it causes the air to bend into the center of the low pressure. So what I'm going to show you here is, so we've got a low pressure system. Oh, I can't draw on it like that. Let's see here. Let me try this real fast.
It's like the winds are going like from east to west.
Yeah.
Like our jet stream is going from west to east.
So what I'm going to show you is, let's see here. Let me draw
it's
that.
It's already
a little bit
rotating.
bigger. Yeah.
And then as soon as it comes over land, the winds near the surface slow down because of friction.
Right.
So then you add more shear, which is like a more drastic change of the winds with height.
That's it. Yeah. So friction is what takes the wind and bends it in towards the low. So watch this. Here we have counterclockwise spin. We're on the western side of the low, so we have mainly northwesterly flow. So if we go back to this, just to let you know, you'll see that there's the low pressure system. And we put this into motion. And you can see how our shower activity is kind of drifting slowly northwest. That's because the storm system is counterclockwise. On the west side of the low or northwest side of the low, you got northerly flow. That is not where the tornadic shear lines up. So let's go back to this tropical track. And like Peyton was saying, the friction of the wind, what it's going to do is bend the wind into the low. So basically it slows the wind down. And because of the pressure gradient force, the arrow or the shear, the wind direction changes, which is called backing. So in the low levels, you have wind that's going towards the low, and then in the upper levels you have winds that are geostrophic balance, so you have them moving basically straight around the low essentially. So it's a uniform flow. But then when that friction happens, you'll notice how the wind is turning from right here, east, northeast to southerly in the upper levels. And it's that type of shear that causes tornadoes. And then it lines up with the critical angle and the storm motion on the northeast side of the low. You just don't get that on the northwest side. That's why tornadoes happen in the eastern quadrants of the storms.
And backing is also cold air advection. So these aren't going to necessarily last long.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So if I can draw an arrow, there we go. So typically the airflow is, so there's your change in direction of the wind with height. And that's the shear.
Gotcha.
So you have a southeasterly wind to a southerly wind. Now remember, it's not the direction the wind is going. It's the direction, Katie? The direction, how do you name the wind speed?
Is it the northwest flow?
So yeah, no, what's the direction? You say when you're naming a wind. Remember this?
Yes.
How do you know the direction of the wind?
By where it's coming from.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
right.
just got here, so I thought you were talking about
No,
northwest
no,
flow.
no, where it's coming from,
Yeah.
where the wind is coming from. So I'm drawing these arrows, but remember it's coming from the southeast, so that's a southeast wind. Even though it looks like it's moving northwest, that's what we call a southeast
I've been
wind.
in the business 11 years and could never figure that out.
Never told, no, someone never told you that?
Figured it out.
So if you're standing outside and you're getting hit in the face with the
Yeah.
wind, that's the direction the wind's coming from.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So there you go.
Fun fact.
The more you know.
I learned something new today.
So southeasterly
Oh.
wind
Not mean to do that. Don't
and
track.
southerly wind. Did it track?
Well, I did like the more you
Oh.
know thing, and it
Ah.
said, "All right, track you now."
All right. Sounds good.
Does it camera move?
The more you know. All right. So let's get all this off of here. Let's show you the very latest 7 o'clock advisory. You see it's 35-mile-an-hour sustained winds, which, by the way, makes it not a tropical storm anymore. Once it gets below 39, it becomes a tropical depression. Oh, there's the latest update. So here's where it's moving pretty quickly to the northeast. By tomorrow morning, the center of the circulation will be located over Little Rock. And the more it's over land and the cooler the temperatures are, the less tornado potential you're going to see. But I still think there's going to be the potential for some tornadoes in eastern and northeastern Arkansas. That's just the direction of the low. And then watch how fast this thing zips on out of here. So that's actually not even the full motion. So there it is. It's gone. So it's a remnant low by the time it gets into central Arkansas. And so it'll bring some gusty winds and stuff like that. Now we got the radar back in Little Rock, Hot Springs, tornado warning. So show me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The velocity couplet is fairly weak.
But remember, with tropical systems, they always kind of look fairly weak because they're not very deep. They're not in
Yeah.
deep circulation. So you have the extra shear within the hurricane, obviously.
And that's why we're using storm
and the friction of
relative
wind.
velocity
Yeah, exactly.
to kind of counteract that. If I just did base velocity,
Yeah,
actually it's better.
you can see,
It's
yeah.
going opposite direction.
So there's the little circulation. Now, even though that doesn't look bad, as Josh said, crazy tornado day in Louisiana. Numerous considerable tornado warnings. Saw the CC signatures. Got the worst of that is not coming for our area. Yeah,
I
no
was wondering
kidding.
if that was just about to get warm.
Yep.
So,
All those little circulations, man, I'm telling you what, it is tough to get those too, to pinpoint. They're about as tough as QLCS tornadoes because they're just different. Look at the echo tops. Echo tops won't be nearly as high, maybe 20, 30,000 feet. There's
Yep.
one that's
30
just,
to
but look at the
40.
one by Malvern and
Right.
Hot Springs. That's not high at all.
no.
That's barely high enough
Super
for
low.
lightning. No, there was not a hurricane warning for Laura for Northwest Arkansas. Was there? Pretty sure it wasn't. No, we will not have tornadoes in Rogers. In fact, I'm going to show you the rainfall, and we're going to break down the severe weather risk. So we've just got the newest severe weather risk. I'm looking at this for the first time. So there it is. And you'll notice the eastern sections of our weather coverage area is where that greatest severe weather potential is. Central and eastern Arkansas, no doubt. What's going on in Hot Springs? Well, that's what we were just talking about. There is a tornado warning, and Little Rock Television is covering that. Thank you, Tammy. No problem. But there's that severe weather threat. Let's look at the tornado risk east of us. So it doesn't even include Scott County anymore.
Yeah.
But officially, there is a tornado watch that's going till midnight. But I think that's going to expire before that.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is this is really interesting. We're not up tilts. So that's a lot of rain right there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's some heavy rain.
We'll go to Fort Smith's radar again, since we already looked at it. It doesn't look nearly as heavy. So back to this, once he's doing that. So they did go moderate for this rainfall, and that makes sense.
Yep.
You got a tropical system. Notice how it's the center and the east of the low that the heaviest rain will be. There is some rain that's going to be close to the center of the low on the western side, and that's going to be eastern Logan County, Johnson County, and Scott County. So those areas do see the potential for heavier rain. And then you go to, that's just not nearly as heavy from the radar in Fort Smith.
Yeah, go up and tilt a little bit, like right near the
Yeah.
river. That's still definitely some moderate rain.
So it's moderate rain, but that shows you that a lot of the raindrops are a lot smaller
Yeah.
as they're not reflecting as much. It could have been. I don't remember, to be honest with you, Jacob. You might be onto something, because if you're asking a random question like that, you probably already know the answer.
I don't know. I thought they just started doing hurricane warnings.
Inland hurricane warnings.
Yeah.
I know Laura was
That's
really
brand new.
strong, and I know Laura was moving really fast. So
When was Laura? Was that 2020?
let's look here. Yeah, 2020. So this is Anthony says Tulsa radar was actually showing heavier rain earlier than Fort Smith. Radar was showing. I don't understand that. So it has to do with tropical systems. A lot of your mid-level moisture, those bands are elevated. They're higher up. And so you get heavier precipitation, but you don't have as much evaporation because you're totally saturated. You're pretty humid. Switch to the Tulsa radar and see what that looks like, I guess. Yeah. Same path as the eclipse. You're onto something there, James. It's a good point. It almost is. The eclipse and a tropical system. Glad we got some rain, no doubt. And there were some heavy showers too. Oh, storm fuel. Yeah, that's a great thing to show that, Natalie. You'll see that it's off to the east of us. But yeah, we should definitely look at that. While I'm bringing that up, here you go. I was going to show you the rain for.
Should show the cyclone puns.
Oh, well, where's that?
Comment.
Hey, I like that. I'm just seeing that. So here you go. Dan is barreling in here with good information. Peyton said like a depression, cyclone puns.
I don't
They're
know what that
wrapping
means.
themselves.
Sound like a depression.
They calling depressed?
Yeah, maybe
Maybe.
like a depression, meaning you're sitting in the chair. You're depressing the chair. I think
Sure.
that's what it
I
is.
hope.
Because Peyton could smile, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
We're
there's a
gonna-
big smile
We're
from
gonna
Peyton.
need to reach for a clarification on that.
Yeah. All right. So here's the storm fuel. Hello. That's interesting. That doesn't show anything.
You should show precipitable water.
Yeah, but you gotta have at least some cape. What in the world is going on there? Is there something wrong with it again? Probably.
I don't know. Yeah, I think
You can't have thunderstorms. I mean, I know you have very little, but you can't have zero cape, I don't think. But
Right.
with a tropical system. So yeah, just to let you know, if you're just joining, we're hopping on here. We're letting you know about what Beryl is truly going to bring to our area.
no hype.
Yeah, no hype, no blowing it out of
No
proportion.
hurricanes in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah,
Woo!
there's a
No.
lot of people going, crazy with that, and they're talking about it. So yeah. But anyways, no fuel. It doesn't show any thunderstorm fuel. So I don't know if there's a problem with that model. Let's see. Maybe it's just not loading. Maybe it's just like, forget about it. Let's go back to this. High heat and cooling mega Doppler showing the tornado warnings in central Arkansas. Now we got the radar far away. You're in the Fort Smith radar again.
Yeah.
Zoom in on those tornado warnings. Something's up here. I don't know what's going on. It's not even bringing any of this instability here. Like nothing.
Maybe it's broken.
It sure
Maybe case is
does.
broken.
Sure seems like it. Yeah, it's not working. Yeah.
Wasn't there something else messed up earlier today? on
Fold the
this?
program. Yeah, there was a watch that came out and it wasn't showing up in our system too. So yeah, we get some rain. We get some heavy rain in eastern sections of our weather coverage area. We get some tropical systems that bring, brief downpours, and we get tornadoes in central Arkansas, not here. So would a tropical system show significant tornado? It actually wouldn't. Not much, because there's not a lot of instability, and I know that that's kind of based off of that. I'm going to bring up something else. We're going to look at the fuel on a model here that see if it has anything. Yeah, see, it has a lot more. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So if we look up the significant tornado parameter, yeah, there is a little bit on the northeastern side of the low. Well, imagine that. That's where the wind shear lines up. Now, I know you can't see what I'm looking at, but I will show you. We'll bring that up. So we'll share the screen. This is the mesoanalysis from the Storm Prediction Center, and this is the significant tornado. We can do fixed layer and the effective layer. So, and you'll notice it's got a bullseye over southeastern Arkansas. So, that had a pretty good TVS on it. That's maintaining itself, isn't it?
My aunt's out and about at dinner somewhere.
But notice that, and you can see that off to the west. I'll bring this up full so you can see it. There's not any tornado potential over us. Well, that's because we're on the northeast side of the low. Now, if we look at instability, look at the lack of instability. So we still have some thunderstorm potential. But if you look at supercell composite, we're in 0. Left moving supercell composite, 0. Significant tornado, 0 to 500. That makes sense. It's pretty high in southern Arkansas because that's where most of the shear is. Non-supercell tornado, nope. That's not on there. And violent tornado parameter. See? Actually pretty strong in southeast Arkansas. So,
Family asking me where it's at.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, just cross north of 70. It's on the northeast side of town, just southwest of Fountain Lake.
And where are they?
Oh, my aunt's out eating dinner in Hot Springs, but my grandfather is in Hot Springs Village. Just got the warning. They just keep getting pounded over and over.
I know.
You should see that place, after the tornado went through, and after the windstorm back in January.
Yeah.
It's been getting hammered.
So you look at that, you see that heavy rain. I'm going to bring up Waldron real quick. It just doesn't look like heavy rain. I mean, you can see it raining, but it's like a light rain. It's nothing super major. I'll show you here. There's Waldron High School.
Yeah, it looks like drizzling.
Yeah, good point. SRX is ducting, slight inversion aloft, which would be the case. And because it's such a warm air mass aloft, weird lines throughout the scans looks like it's possibly ducting. That's why it's so weird with the scans the evening. It's a good observation. Let's see if there is potential for ducting. If we in fact look at forecast tools And let's go to the latest sounding from Springfield. Oh, there is no sounding from Springfield.
No, Little Rock.
Yeah, we can do Little Rock. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of an inversion right there, which makes sense with tropical moisture. Now, look at how low top these suckers are. Mostly unstable equilibrium level is only about, oh, I don't have it on. So here's the sounding. And you're going to notice the temperature increasing with height. So this is the cap. This is the lid. But then once you get here, you got the level of free convection. So you look at all the wind shear, though. Boy, that's a tremendous amount of wind shear. If we look at the sounding here, I'll bring this up full.
It is that backing profile.
It is the backing profile. You got northeasterly winds. That's actually veering.
Yeah.
That's actually veering. I was talking about going from southerly to southeasterly. That's what I was meaning by backing.
Yeah, that's backing.
But this is a veering wind profile, meaning it's turning clockwise with height, just like a clock. But that's the amount of shear. And if you look at all the stuff, this is what makes tropical cyclones so different. It only has a supercell composite of 1, and we're way down here in the non-tor. But yet, this puppy's producing tornadoes everywhere. It's all because of the shear lining up with the instability and local impacts of those outer bands. So, but as far as the ducting is concerned, that is a possibility because you have the radar beam going through an inversion. It bends into the ground, and you get returns that happen that are what we call anomalous propagation. So,
the beam height is 11,000 feet.
Yeah. So, what 212? What BCP did they have us on in Central for Fort Smith?
I have no clue. There's a website you can look that up.
Colby Ward. People know. People know what's up. Yeah, Colby Ward. That's about what it is. Hopefully, I would still have sound, Rhonda. Sometimes that can go out because of the internet. So Cersei is a different story. Cersei is going to be potentially in harm's way.
SRX is running sales.
Okay.
Oh, they were.
And it's BCP 212. So
They
yeah.
were.
It's interesting. Yeah, 212. So, and that's not what Little Rock was running, was it? So Johnson,
212, no sales.
Johnson County, I'll let you know about this. Johnson County will see a little more rain. There's no doubt about that. There's a chance that maybe you'll get a gusty wind, but as far as tornado potential, you're on the very western edge of it, and I'm not sure if that's going to truly come to fruition. Because I wanted to show you the low kicking east, and then that's the last thing I'm going to do because I got to set up for KNWA here. I mean, for Fox. Sorry, Anna. I almost skipped your show already. It's all good.
It's Monday.
The Monday blues.
This is our weather intern, by the way, Katie Glanton. So she's been, how many times have you been here? A few?
Like 6 or 7.
6 or 7, yeah.
It's been since the beginning of June.
Yeah, so she's learning the ropes here. All right, let's go back to Mega Doppler while this is loading. And you can see that rain. It's just not very heavy over northwest Arkansas. However, just to let you know, because it is tropical in nature, it might not look like heavy rain, and then it comes down on you.
Comes down pretty hard.
Yeah, so that's what happened today at about 1 o'clock. I was walking around the neighborhood. I could see the billowing cloud and storm, and I was like, I better get in there. And so as soon as I was like 4 houses away, the raindrops were pretty big. I was like, I got to go. As soon as I got inside, it was pouring. So it's Carroll County getting rain, just southeastern Carroll County, but you could easily go to bed and enjoy your sleep because it's going to be the pitter patter of raindrops. But here is that system that's kicking Beryl off to the east. So if we look, here's the circulation. This thing is about to accelerate in a hurry. So it's almost like Cam Little is kicking this thing out of here. He's not the kicker anymore, though.
He moved to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
He's in the job boards now.
Yeah. So there you go. There's the system. Let me take off the jet stream off of here so you can see that and zoom out just a little bit. So you can see the trough of low pressure. This is why, remember last week we were talking about how this system for us wouldn't make as many impacts. And that's because the trough was coming in meteorologically. It made sense for the low to kick east. And being on the western side of the low, I've seen it. There might be a chance that western Benton County barely picks up any rain at all. Like nothing. That's not out of the question. Look at the dry air coming in too. That's another thing that's playing the role for those tornadoes. So we don't have that here. And that dry punch creates creates the EML, the elevated mix layer, and kicking this can down the road. So you can see the way that system is kicking out. And then that dry air is causing all that precipitation to evaporate. So this would be, if you're hoping for a big snowstorm like the low, this would be not a good thing that it's kicking east really quick, because your precipitation's about to come to an end. So yeah, tomorrow, here's the tornado risk for today. And then tomorrow it's to the northeast of us. So we just don't get much. If you look at the precipitation, you'll notice how we're on the western fringe of this. Anytime you're on that gradient, yeah, you usually don't get a lot.
It's usually a sharper drop off.
Yeah.
It shows.
So it is a much sharper drop off. There you go. And then if we go down here, not going to show you the 7-day because we still have a couple newscasts to go, so we can watch that. But what I was going to show you is real quick the timing. And then after the timing, we're going to shut it down and get ready for the newscast. So here's a look at the latest timing. Yes, it is going to rain tonight, but it doesn't happen very heavy. I mean, there might be some bursts of heavy rain, not enough to cause flooding though, in my opinion. And then precipitation drops off. So the second half of the day looking really nice. Now, River Valley is closer to the center of circulation, but still west of it. So the precipitation won't be quite as heavy. And you're going to notice here.
Definitely heavier.
Heavier. There you see 90%. And it's mainly in the early morning hours. Yeah. What's that drought looking like? Great question. Well, we got it right here. Locked and loaded, ready to answer. And so this is the update from last Thursday. I think we're going to see some improvement on this. So definitely some much needed rain on the 4th of July, which, by the way, that didn't even include the 4th of July rain.
Did not include the 4th of July rain.
It goes from Tuesday to Tuesday. So the next update this Thursday, we'll be getting that 4th of July rain. And last thing I got to tell you about, you know what's coming, Peyton, right?
Oh, yeah.
It is our severe weather special. Do not miss it. One supercell to remember. It's happening July 11th. There will not be a 6 o'clock newscast. And that goes from 6 to 7. KNWA, Fox 24, KXNW. Set your DVRs. Just to let you know, if you can't watch this live on TV, it will be broadcasted on YouTube.
That's where I'm watching.
And there will be an extended cut on YouTube as well,
And
because
that starts at 7.
there is so much stuff going on. Yeah, that starts at 7. I would say 7 to 8, but it's going to be over 8. So, but we've got so many things from that storm. We've got sound from people. We've got some incredible footage from Rogers PD, dash cam video, police cam video from Decatur. We just got a lot of stuff. And Brendan says, hey, soon to be married, Brendan. Good to see you. I think he's talking to you, Peyton.
You said Dan.
Oh, he did say. He said, hey, Dan Scoff, how about that? Well, he'll see Peyton.
Yeah, I'll see you Saturday, Brendan.
Yeah, extra footage got put to good use. It's we packed as much as we can in as many places. And so we tell the story, how it unfolded. It's documentary style. So basically what we do is we have it starting with the coverage. We go throughout all the entire coverage. We map it up with the tornado tracks, the damage that, has been assessed, the damage that hasn't been assessed, that, they never called or anything like that. And and then we go through survivor stories, and then we go with recovery efforts. So, all right, I got to run. And no, that is my weather intern, Brendan. So, it's not a super weather kid. Yeah, no, she's in college.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I know I have a
He's-
baby face.
he's
so.
just messing. He's messing. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. We will see you later. And yeah, we'll let you know on this storm. We'll watch Scott County a little bit because that's one county could see it something. We're watching it. I know. I was kidding. I know. See you guys.